74,000 marathoners take to the city streets, with the number of non-local runners smashing records. 59 runners are hospitalized, 2 in critical condition. And US President Donald Trump slaps hefty new taxes on 8 EU countries over his controversial Greenland acquisition plan. Good evening, you're watching Cable News. I'm Evan Bai. More than 18,000 local and international participants from all walks of life took part in today's Hong Kong Marathon. Colorful costumes were spotted along the course, while many non-local runners said the marathon offered a unique way to experience the city. Jeremy Zhu tells us more.
3, 2, 1.
At 6 a.m., Chief Executive John Lee kicked off the race on Nathan Road in Tsim Sha Tsui, sending 18,000 full marathon runners on their 42-kilometer journey. The route crossed the Stonecutters Bridge, headed toward Ting Kau Bridge before turning back, continued along the West Kowloon Highway, and passed through the Western Harbour Tunnel. Runners then faced the famously long incline after exiting the tunnel on the island side, before finally reaching the finish line at Victoria Park. As usual, many spectators dressed in costumes to cheer on participants. From vampires and Super Mario to Disney and anime characters. This year's marathon, which also included half-marathon and 10-kilometer races, offered 74,000 places and attracted over 120,000 applicants. A quarter were non-local runners, a record high, including around 10,000 from overseas and others from the mainland. One mainland participant said marathon is a way for him to explore Hong Kong. He noted the event's unique features, such as the famous tunnels and bridges, offer a personal challenge.
During the marathon itself, or the half marathon, you're not really going to see much because you're focused on the race, most people are. But all of the activities around the marathon, it's a great way to see it, especially, going out to Kai Tak the other day to collect the entries. There was a nice atmosphere there. So yeah, it is a good way to see the city.
The organizer said this year's non-local runners come from 110 countries and regions.
We all know that the Standard Chartered Hong Kong Marathon is now one of the key road running events in the world running calendar. Most of the runners in the world like to collect the stamps, and they like to face the challenges of our race course. Therefore, we think we will attract more and more runners to participate in our event.
The association will explore extending race times and designing new routes to accommodate more runners in future editions. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
During today's races, more than 1,500 runners required treatment, with 59 sent to the hospital, including 2 in critical condition and 3 classified as serious. The Western Harbour Crossing, traversed by both the full and half marathoners, features a descent followed by an ascent at the island side exit, posing challenges to numerous runners. A male runner collapsed at the inclining exit on the island side of the Western Harbour Crossing, losing consciousness and suffering facial abrasions. Medical personnel rushed to perform chest compressions and used an automated external defibrillator. The man later regained consciousness and was taken to the hospital. Some runners also sustained facial and hand abrasions and received on-site care. By the time marathoners reached the crossing, they had run about 35 kilometers. The first aid station was set up at the exit of the tunnel. In addition to the man at the Western Harbour Crossing exit, 2 other severe cases occurred on the westbound carriageway of the Island Eastern Corridor and outside the Sogo department store. both requiring on-site first aid. Financial Secretary Paul Chan will depart for Switzerland's Davos tonight to attend the World Economic Forum annual meeting, where he will spotlight Hong Kong's new opportunities through meetings, public remarks, and panel discussions. The annual meeting, running from January 19th to 22nd, will bring together nearly 3,000 participants worldwide, including political decision-makers, business leaders, and academics. Writing in his weekly blog, Chen noted that, amid a volatile international landscape, Hong Kong is continuing to consolidate traditional strengths while injecting new drivers of growth, such as propelling the city into an international gold trading center. As of November last year, the average daily turnover of 99 tael gold in the Hong Kong Gold Exchange rose more than twofold year-on-year to $2.9 billion. The finance chief revealed that the government is expediting the establishment of a central clearing system for gold, with a trial run targeted within the year, and will sign a memorandum of understanding with the Shanghai Gold Exchange at next week's Asian Financial Forum. Meanwhile, Chen said the Hong Kong Monetary Authority is advancing the project Cargo X to improve accessibility to trade finance for small and medium-sized enterprises, with a new roadmap to be released this week. A 63-year-old hiker died after collapsing on Robin's Nest County Trail in Shuttlecock. The man, unconscious, was airlifted by helicopter to Pamela Youde Nedosol Eastern Hospital and received treatment with an automated external defibrillator en route. Police received a call around noon from a female hiker, saying her male friend had collapsed and lost consciousness during hiking. United States President Donald Trump has threatened to impose punishing tariffs on America's closest European allies, linking trade policy directly to his unfulfilled ambition to purchase Greenland, a self-ruling Danish territory. Quentin Yang reports.
In an unprecedented escalation of his long-standing demand, Trump announced that the U.S. will levy a 10% tariff on all imports from 8 European nations next month, rising to 25% by June, until a deal is secured for the complete and total purchase of the Arctic island. The policy, declared on his social media yesterday, targets Denmark, Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, and Finland. Trump accused these nations, which have publicly supported Denmark's sovereignty over Greenland, of playing a very dangerous game by deploying personnel to the island for purposes unknown. He dismissed Denmark's ability to protect the territory, claiming it currently has 2 dock sleds as protection. European leaders issued sharp and unified rebukes. Danish Foreign Minister expressed astonishment at Trump's remarks, stating the military deployments by the 8 European nations were intended to strengthen security over the Arctic region. He added that Denmark would maintain communication with its NATO allies and the U.S. to safeguard regional peace. The European Union's top leadership warned the tariffs risk a vicious circle that will undermine transatlantic prosperity. Other European leaders also criticized the tariff threat as unacceptable, reiterating their unification and steadfast respect for the sovereignty and independence of Denmark and Greenland. The announcement ignited public anger in the region. In Greenland's capital, Nuuk, hundreds braved freezing temperatures to march in support of self-governance. Greenland's prime minister also joined the protest. Simultaneously, near 1,000 demonstrators rallied in Copenhagen, Denmark's capital, chanting that Greenland is not for sale. Quentin Yang, Cable News.
Meanwhile, in what may be a real godsend, after more than 25 years of on-off negotiations, the European Union has finally inked a sweeping trade pact with South America's Mercosur bloc, creating one of the world's largest free trade areas. EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen and European Council President Antonio Costa signed a landmark agreement with leaders from Brazil, Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay in Paraguay's capital, Asunción. Von der Leyen called the accord a geopolitical win that strengthens Europe's foothold in the resource-rich region contested by both the United States and China. The agreement will phase out tariffs on more than 90% of goods traded between the two sides, boosting South American exports of beef and other farm products, while opening new opportunities for European cars, wine, and cheese. The pact still needs approval from the European Parliament and ratification in Mercosur countries, prompts concerns about cheap imports and deforestation. If fully ratified, the deal is expected to come into force by around 2026. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has delivered a rare rebuke to the United States. He said the White House failed to coordinate with Israel on a key list of members for a board overseeing Gaza's reconstruction, a move that contradicts Israeli policy. Jeremy Zhu reports.
The White House has released the membership for 2 executive boards of President Donald Trump's new Board of Peace for Gaza. The one drawing the most intense Israeli scrutiny is the Gaza Executive Board, tasked with reconstruction and the day-to-day governance of the territory. Given that Turkey and Qatar have consistently criticized the Israeli military campaign in Gaza, Israel had strongly opposed their inclusion. However, diplomats from both nations ultimately appeared on the list. Netanyahu's office released a statement confirming he has instructed Foreign Minister Gideon Saar to contact U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio to address the matter. Meanwhile, chaired by Trump, the Board of Peace itself is expected to sit above these 2 executive bodies and comprise a number of world leaders. Reportedly, the Trump administration has set a condition whereby member states donating $1 billion could become permanent members, exempt from a standard 3-year term limit. The White House later denied this, calling the reports misleading. It stressed there is no minimum fee and that only allies championing peace, prosperity, and security can attain permanent membership. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
Indonesian rescue teams have found the wreckage of a small turboprop plane in the remote mountain area of South Sulawesi, a day after it vanished from radar with 11 people on board. Online footage showed debris, including parts of the fuselage, tail section, and cabin windows, were found scattered on the mountain inside a national park. The aircraft, operated by Indonesia Air Transport and chartered by the Marine Affairs and Fisheries Ministry, disappeared on Saturday while flying from Yogyakarta to Makassar, with 8 crew members and 3 government officials on board. The steep terrain and thick fog has hampered access for rescue crews. More than 1,000 personnel have been deployed to search for survivors. On to the weather now. It will be fine and dry with temperatures ranging between 19 and 23 degrees. Moderate easterly winds occasionally fresh. That's our news tonight. I'm Evan Bai. Thank you for watching and good night.